buhay, dami mong problema, namumukang hindi, no'y bigang na lastig. Saan ka man, laro mo, huwag kang matatakot, sa barilo padalim, sa bakas na malilim. Hoy! Binoy ako! Buhatin mo! Mayanginan ang lumubo! Hoy! Binoy ako! Mayanginan ang lumubo!
What values or lessons did you learn while playing traditional Filipino games?
In my own experience in playing traditional games, many of these Filipino traditional games require players to work closely with teammates to win. Helping develop collaboration and unity, sportsmanship are key aspects that teach discipline and respect for others.
In your opinion, why it is important to preserve and pass on traditional Filipino games to the next generation?
For me, preserving and passing on traditional Filipino games is important because they carry cultural identity, community spirit, and valuable life lessons. These games are more than just play. They reflect Filipino values like bayanihan, cooperation, resilience, and respect. What values or lessons did you learn while playing traditional Filipino games?
I learned while playing traditional Filipino games taught valuable life lessons such as teamwork, discipline, fairness, creativity, perseverance, and a sense of community. Games require concentration, self-control, and respect, while also promoting creativity and resourcefulness.
In your opinion, why is it important to preserve and pass on traditional Filipino games to the next generation?
In my opinion, preserving and passing on traditional Filipino games to the next generation is important because they are a vital part of our cultural heritage.
What values or lesson I've learned while playing the Filipino traditional game is that first I get to experience what it felt like to play those games such as patintero, pico, and actually many more. Because nowadays, because of the growth of technology, the kids were not familiar with those type of games. So as someone who are like those kids, it felt so surreal to experience those games because of the recreational activity held and supervised by our teacher, Mr. Galit. I'm thankful that I got to experience on how to play pico because I don't really know how to play those games. And actually, the values that the games instill on my personality is that it is very important to communicate with your teammates because mostly those games were group games, and it is very important to listen and be a voice of your team. That's all. So why is it important to pass and preserve the Filipino traditional games to the next generation? First, it is very important because those games were part of our culture. We don't get to preserve the games, but also we get to preserve our own culture as a Filipino. Second, it is very important for the next generation to know what the games played back then, because nowadays the kids, they only get to play indoor games such as digital games. There may be games played outdoors like basketball, volleyball, but actually those games were not originated from the Philippines. So those palo sebo, those takraw, pico, it is actually originated from the Philippines. So it is very important to know our own identity as a Filipino.
Traditional Filipino games must be preserved and passed down in order to uphold cultural identity, encourage social skills, and support mental and physical health. These games are essential part of the nation's legacy, representing its history, customs, and beliefs. They are not only leisure pursuits. The younger generation can experience the distinctive cultural richness, and the Philippines gain useful skills. Traditional Filipino games must be preserved and passed down in order to uphold cultural identity, encourage social skills, and support mental and physical health. These games are essential part of the nation's legacy, representing its history, customs, and beliefs. They are not only leisure pursuits. The younger generation can experience the distinctive cultural richness, and the Philippines gain useful skills.
What values or lessons did you learn while playing traditional Filipino games?
Some of the biggest lessons I learned revolve around teamwork and sportsmanship. Games like Patintero and Pico really emphasize cooperation. In Patintero, you needed everyone to work together strategically to succeed. And in Pico, even though it was individual based, there was a sense of shared camaraderie and cheering each other on. Winning wasn't everything. It was about having fun and supporting your teammates. Learning to win gracefully and lose with good humor was a big part of it all.